Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to break down a piece of ancient wisdom that can, believe it or not, help you make way better decisions in our crazy, fast-paced world. Okay, so let's just dive right in with a super simple scenario. Picture this. You're in a coffee shop, you're just trying to get that morning caffeine fix. You're waiting in line, maybe scrolling on your phone. We've all been there. And then the person in front of you suddenly jumps to the other line. What do? You hesitate for a second, you make a call, and then you watch, just in agony, as the other line magically speeds up. We have all been there, right? That little pang of regret. And this little choice, it actually reveals a much bigger question. When should you follow, and when should you just stand still? This is not just about coffee, of course. We're talking about career moves, investments, social trends, the big stuff. And believe it or not, an ancient text has a surprisingly modern answer. So where does this answer come from? Well, it's from the I Ching, an ancient Chinese book of wisdom that's been around for thousands of years. And we're going to zoom in on its 17th hexagram, which is known as the Sui Gua. Sui Gua literally translates to the art of following. But the symbolism here is what's really cool. It's made up of two parts: thunder, which stands for action and change, and the lake, which represents our environment. And the image, it's thunder moving underneath the lake. So it's not some loud, disruptive crash. It's action that moves in perfect, quiet harmony with its surrounding. And this is the absolute key takeaway. The whole idea here is that following isn't about following people. It's not about following orders or just blindly doing what everyone else is doing. No, it's about following timing. It's about following the flow with total awareness. It's about sensing the rhythm of a situation, not just reacting. And this quote really nails the central challenge here. The timing must be right for the following to be successful, but the prerequisite is that you do not lose your own standpoint, right? You've got to move with the current, but without getting totally swept away by it. It's like you want to catch the wave of a new trend, but not if it means ditching your own values to do it. You got to have an anchor. Okay, so if that's the ideal, where do we usually mess this up? I mean, let's be real. The source material points out 3 really common pitfalls, and you're probably going to recognize these from modern life. First, we follow people, not the moment. Second, we follow our emotions, not the cold, hard facts. And third, we follow results, not the overall direction. I mean, come on, we've all been guilty of these, right? Let's just break them down real quick. All right, mistake number 1. Your friend comes to you and says, "Hey, this startup is going to be huge. You should join." It's a classic case of following a person, not the actual moment. The Swiga says the real question isn't about how confident your friend is. It's about the market. Is this industry just getting started? Is it hitting its peak? Or is it already on the decline? That's what determines if the timing is right. Okay, mistake number 2, following the mood of the crowd. Think about a new policy at work. Everyone immediately starts complaining, right? And it's so easy to just jump on that bandwagon. But that's just letting emotion guide you. The wiser move? Step back, look at the actual facts. Really try to understand the change. Who knows? You might even find an opportunity hidden in there. And then there's mistake number 3. This one is huge, copying someone else's short-term win without getting the big picture. We see this all the time, right? Investment fads, social media trends, someone strikes gold, and then everyone rushes in to copy them. The Suikwa warns this is super dangerous because you're just chasing an outcome. You're not understanding the system that made it happen. You see the effect, but you totally miss the cause. Okay, so this is where we get to the core of this whole thing. See, the Suikoa isn't just a cool concept, it's a path. It actually lays out a 6-stage journey you can take, from being a total novice follower to becoming a true master of timing. So it starts with the rules changing, and your job is just to stay calm and watch. Then you're hit with information overload, and you have to learn to ignore the small stuff and find the major direction. Once that's confirmed, you follow, but with humility. Then the rewards start showing up, and that's the most dangerous part. Ideally, you get to stage 5, where your values align with the trend. And finally, stage 6, you've internalized the rhythm. It's not even following anymore. It's just your own pace. I mean, what a fascinating progression, right? You go from being reactive to being totally intuitive. Okay, I really want you to pay attention to stage 4, because this is where it gets tricky. When following brings rewards, that is the most dangerous time. This is when your decisions are finally paying off. You got the promotion, your stock is soaring, and that is precisely when you are most vulnerable. Why? Because success makes you complacent. You stop paying attention, you think you've got it all figured out, and that's when the whole thing can flip on you. So, the real goal here is to get to stage 5, value alignment. This is where you're not imitating anymore, you're not chasing, you're moving in a direction because you genuinely believe in it. Your actions are in perfect sync with your own internal values and the external flow of things. It's not about peer pressure, it's just on every level, it feels right. All right, so how do we actually use all of this? This is the fun part. The text basically distills all of this ancient wisdom into a super practical toolkit, a simple checklist you can use for your very next decision. So here are the three big principles to keep in your back pocket. First, good following always preserves your right to choose. If you ever feel like you have to follow, that's a huge red flag. Second, remember that the trend is way more important than anyone's charisma. And third, the ultimate goal is to follow what you truly value. Simple as that. Okay, so before you make your next big move, and I mean whether it's taking a new job or, yeah, even switching coffee lines, just run it through this quick three-question checklist. Number one, is this decision driven by fear or by clear judgment? Number two, if I don't do this, what will I regret in 3 years? And number three, maybe the most important, after I follow this path, can I still be myself? And that really leaves us with this final idea. You can't control the wave, but you decide when to stand up. The art of following, it's not about being passive at all. It's about being a surfer. It's about understanding these massive, uncontrollable forces all around you and using that knowledge to choose the absolute perfect moment to act, to get on your feet, and to ride that wave. And that is the art of perfect timing.